you look at the Chicago game, they had 11 penalties against Chicago, lost by 1 point, and Brady goes to the sideline and is screaming and hollering. This is not the way you do it. The very next week, they had 0 offensive penalties. They beat Green Bay 38-10. So Tom Brady was taught the right way to do it. Good. And I think he brought that championship discipline to Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's the one that brought it down there because they were not a disciplined football team a year ago. They turned the ball over and had penalties. They're a disciplined football team right now. That's why they're in the Super Bowl.
Now, Coach, let's take you to a place where you're familiar, the Dallas Cowboys, and switch gears a little bit. And their quarterback situation. A lot of free agent quarterbacks out there, a lot of quarterbacks that are under contract potentially up for trade. Would you be interested in some of those quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, et cetera, or stick with Dak Prescott?
Yeah. Well, no. Let me have Aaron Rodgers. Or let me have
Dak?
Holmes. You bet. They're both more talented than Dak.
That's hard to argue with that one. I ain't arguing with that.
But you don't ever get rid of a quarterback or a player until you find somebody better. And they're not going to get those guys. Now, they're never going to get those guys. They've got a great leader that it's an outstanding quarterback that can win you a championship. Get him signed. They should have signed him 3 years ago. They should have signed him 2 years ago. They should have signed him this offseason. But they wanted 5 years rather than 4 years. They would have saved a lot of money had they signed him any one of those previous 3 years. Get him signed. He's your quarterback.
Coach, let me ask you this, because this is a question that everybody's wondering. Dak Prescott this year was about 1-3. If you count the Giants game, he had 2 wins, 2 playoff appearances, 1 playoff win. If you're the coach or Jerry Jones, why are you so convinced that you can win a Super Bowl with Dak? Not saying you can't win a lot of games, but why is Jimmy Johnson convinced that Dak Prescott can win a Super Bowl?
Let's see, let me just think. Troy Aikman, as great a quarterback as he was, won 0 games his first year. Steve Walsh won 1 game. We were 1-15. Now, the next year, I gave him a little bit of a supporting cast, and we won 7. Had he not hurt his shoulder, we'd have been in the playoffs the second year.
7.
And I sat down with Troy, and I said, Troy, I'm sorry you didn't make the Pro Bowl. He said, Coach, you keep bringing in players and giving me some talent around me. I'll make plenty of Pro Bowls. Now, we won our first Super Bowl. We were the youngest team in the league, and everybody talks about the triplets with Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman. They went into the Hall of Fame. But we were number 1 in the NFL total defense. And so, you look at Dak, he had a very mediocre record this year to start out. Their defense, nobody could have won with that defense the way they played.
Wait, let me stop that. DMV.
What's going on?
Did you hear what he just said?
I did hear what he said.
I think he said nobody would have won with that defense. I'm sorry. Didn't he just say nobody would have won with that defense?
Yeah, that's what he said. Doesn't mean that I have to totally agree with what he's saying.
Okay, you know what? You're my boy and all that, but I'm going to take Jimmy Johnson's word, a guy who won back-to-back Super Bowls and a third one and should have won some more had Jerry Jones not been a dumbass.
And then I'll ask you, what did Jimmy Johnson do in Miami when Minnesota didn't give him a whole team?
Hey, he's still good. But
he had Dan Marino, by the way.
But how many coaches have gone from one team and won another Super Bowl? Because we had Bill Parcells who came here and, he didn't do too much either. It's one of those things that, coaches just don't win 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can't sit here. While I love Jimmy to death, and I blame Jerry for everything, we can't act like everything that he says is gospel, because he walked into a perfect storm, and he got out 2 before any disappointment. We didn't have a chance to see Jimmy fail in Dallas and have to deal with this.
You know what? But I tell you what, I will take his word over the jackasses on ESPN any day.
I will too. I will too.
And it's hard to. Okay, let's be clear here. It's hard to dispute exactly what he just said. He said, yes, I surrounded Troy Aikman with talent, But people forget that that number one defense was the cog on there. And you can go back, as much as everybody loves all these other teams that are the Super Bowl, we think about Tom Brady. Tom Brady has always had a really good defense, usually one of the top 10 defenses every single year. And he's got a top 10 defense in Tampa as well as Kansas City.
Well, what helps your defense, Mark, when you can do what on offense?
When you can score and run the football. And we've had that for years.
No, I'm saying that's what Jimmy had, and that's why that defense was as good as it was. They call it the great,
not solely.
The Great Wall of Dallas. They call it the Great Wall of Dallas for a reason. Look at Emmett's numbers.
Wait. But you could go back to Tony Romo's days when we were scoring tons of points and able to run the football with Marion Barber and crew.
We weren't able to run but the best shot he had was when we had DeMarco Murray leading the league in rushing, right? And the defense,
but
the
that
defense was top 10 then too.
No, the defense was not top 10.
Are you sure?
No. I will bet my life against a handful of shit on that.
Maybe not top 10. I know they were top 12. I know they were top 12. They had Rolando McClain.
I got your ass now.
Okay, go ahead.
I got your
Look
ass
it
now.
up.
Because
with total defense?
Total defense. Oh, no. Check it out.
With Rolando McClain?
No, hold on. Rolando McClain was not there in 2014.
Yes, he was.
No, he was not. No. Dude, I'm going to tell you.
You're talking about when we went to Green Bay. When we went to Green Bay and lost, and Dez had to catch. When Dez had to catch.
Hold on. Let me speak.
Okay.
Because let me give you the background and the history of this, okay? And let me flip camera. See, let me first get open for. I'm feisty tonight. Somebody said, bring the heat. I'm bringing the heat tonight, okay? So let's get open for business here and wake up, football gods. Okay, because if you remember, in 2013, we had brought in Monty Kiffin to be head coach of our defense, and we were historically, and I mean historically, bad. They literally said that the Dallas Cowboys defense would not be able to stop a high school team. We then proceeded to let go of DeMarcus Ware and Jason Hatcher, who had just come off of his best season of his career, having 11 sacks, signed a big, fat, juicy contract with the Washington football team, only to disappoint them. And we went from 32nd to 19th. Now, 2015, we dropped down to 17th. 2016, we dropped down to, I believe, 13th. Now, the amazing thing about that is that Dallas Cowboys defense, which was rated 19th, was second in the NFL at taking the football away. For whatever reason, that was 2014. That was the anomaly that they took the ball away, I believe, 32 times. You know, but see, I see you looking it up.
No, I'm looking it up because I don't see where we're 19th. I saw where we're 15th. I saw where we're 15th in 2014.
Hold up.
Because
I remember charting my man's. Now I'm getting old.
That defense was not bad. We had Rolando McClain.
Our defense continued to get better and better every year.
Because Sean Lee didn't play that year. We had Rolando McClain, and he was much better. That's the year we beat Detroit in the playoffs.
Let me go to my boys at Pro Football Focus. Okay.
Monty Kiffin was bad. You see, Rod Marinelli ran that defense.
All right, here we go. Hold on. See, I love this because I love being challenged. Okay. I'm going to give it to you right here. Okay. This is the 20. Let me change the camera for y'all so you guys can see this too. This was the 2014 Dallas Cowboys. Offensive ranked, scoring points, 5th, 7th in yards. Defensive ranked for points. They give up 15.
Okay, so it's the points.
And then 19th in yards. And what was that right there, takeaways? Second. That was the difference. Okay, it wasn't a great defense, but they could take the football away. Okay, that was the difference. Now, I mean, if you want to say, well, points for, they gave up 15. Okay, middle of the road. Yardage, 19th. But they took the ball away. That was the difference on why that team was successful. And I'm not going to say that was because we had DeMarco Murray running for 1,800 yards. If your theory is you had a great running game, so that made the defense great, that's not a great defense. And we had a great offense that did control the clock with the football.
Okay, so look at time of possession that year, because time of possession, like that defense, I agree with you. It wasn't a great defense. It was solid. It wasn't a great defense. But time of possession is why we won games that year. Time of
No,
possession.
it was turnovers. No, it was turnovers.
Look at time of possession,
Listen,
too.
You get turnovers are gold, man. Turnovers can be a 14-point
I agree
swing.
with you.
We don't get turnovers. That shit does not happen.
I agree. Turnovers is big.
Okay.
Turnovers is huge.
All right, so now that I've had my first argument here, I miss somebody who did the super chat. Oh, David, thank you. And I know my ladies are in here. I know I see Lola. What's up, Lola? I know I saw Jobu Sports Fan in here. I know I saw Jessica. What's up, Jessica? Who have I missed? Who have I missed? I've been sitting here going crazy now. Oh, and Gina. Oh, man. Gina. Damn, Gina. Woo. Wait till later when I show you guys Gina's racks. Oh, my goodness. You know, yes, Lord. God is good. Let's see. Who did I miss? I got Gina. I got Lola. Did I miss any of the lovely ladies in the house? Oh, and watch Daddy get knocked out here. All right. So I think I got all the ladies. If I missed any, please say, hey, here I am, Mark. Here I am. All right, everybody. I'm glad you guys have joined us here. I actually did an interview with Philly 500 before we did the show here where he's literally whining and crying. I had to pull out the tissues for him. He's so sad about Carson Wentz. But you know what? I'm not going to worry about. Should I worry about Carson Wentz?
As long as not to play him.
Well, for one, my question would be, why would you get rid of your Super Bowl winning coach if you were going to go ahead and trade him anyway?
We had that discussion, but let me remind you guys about that. You gotta love it.
Daz Jackson.
Just got paid this Friday night. Woo! People. Gotta love it. Okay. So, interesting things happen.
Okay.
Before we're gonna be doing a mock draft and see, I'm not much of a mock drafter. To me, it's too soon. And it's really one of those things that it's like a unicorn. You can't really, you're not getting it right.
Well, we're only doing the first two rounds tonight, right? Just get our feet wet, right?
But there's so much that's in flux right now. You've got the great quarterback shuffle right now.
Oh, yeah, but we can talk about that too.
You know, because, like, for example, if the Eagles end up trading Carson Wentz and they get more than a ham sandwich, okay, I'm on board with saying trade a potted meat sandwich, not on the good bread now. I'm talking about just like regular old Wonder Bread that, doesn't mold. Okay, not like the country white. Okay, the country white, it's got texture to it. It doesn't feel like gum. Okay, yes. So if you use like the Wonder Bread and the potted meat, maybe that prepackaged Swiss, not from the deli department, where you slice it, no, prepackaged Swiss and some mustard. I'd trade that for Carson Wentz.
Ooh,
maybe.
Damn.
But if they trade him, here's where I think it could get crazy. If you end up having to get a number 1 for him, and you've got number 6, are you tempted to take another quarterback? Because you may not be up here again like that with that much draft capital.
You know what I'm afraid of?
What?
I'm afraid that the Cowboys are probably looking at what all of these teams are getting. And Steven is a draft man, and Steven is a picks guy. Mm-hmm. I'm afraid that they're going to look and see what these guys are getting and possibly convince Dak to do a sign the tag and trade. It would be stupid, but you see. If I can get a first for Carson Wentz, what can I get for Dak?
Well, okay, but think about this though. Okay, this is where it's crazy to me. Okay, the fact that you're saying we'll get a first for Carson Wentz. Matthew Stafford, I've seen him play in person myself many times. I've seen him with great talent around him, with Megatron
Yeah, I seen
and a
him screw
great
it up.
defense.
I seen
Okay,
him mess it up.
okay. For some reason, people are acting like he's Joe Montana. So
Yeah.
he gets 2 number ones, a starting quarterback, and a 3rd-round pick. And I'm kind of like, did I miss something? And he's 32 years old. Did I miss something?
Hey, I'm in the same boat. I had a whole bunch of Stafford fans killing me for saying they got fleeced.
I'm just
Saying
like,
LA got fleeced.
But here's the thing. Okay. I'm gonna ask the fans out here, because see, everybody out here is fantasy football.
Oh yeah, I
And
take
now
Matt
the
Stafford
GMs,
all day
the
in
GMs
fantasy.
now are fantasy football. How many times have we seen a team give up picks like that and it's worked out? I'm going to ask you. I'm trying to think of a situation where somebody has gave up a boatload of picks to move up to get a quarterback, or a boatload of picks to trade to get a player. I can't think. I know we've done it with, like, trying to get Joey Galloway, and we gave 2 number ones for him, and he comes here and busts his knee up. I know we gave a first and some other for Roy Williams.
Oh,
I know we
God.
took a first and a second to move up for Morris Claiborne.
Quite honestly,
Every
it
one
never-
of those
it-
jobs was like, right up.
I'll tell you what. Carson Wentz did. His team got a Super Bowl, so it worked, but it ain't work with him winning it.
He wasn't the one that
It didn't work with him winning it.
But think about what you gave up, though, to get him.
True, because you could have been a much better team for much longer if you didn't do that, and if you just kind of stuck with Foles and made it work with him from the get-go.
Okay, they understand they traded players to Tampa and picks to move up from 13 to 8, and then traded a boatload to Cleveland to move up to get Wentz, and now here it is. You know, you turn around now and spend another number one. Okay,
How he should be fired.
So now we're talking about, right now you spent 4 number ones. Is it right? No, 3 number ones on quarterbacks in the last 5 years. And that's provided you don't get another one this year. 3 number ones, and you have to look and say, we really don't have one.
Oh my God.
So
You
So like I said, so you look at them. They traded a king's ransom to get Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Okay, and that didn't work. You look at the Rams. They were even more in with Jared Goff. They gave up 2 number ones, 2 2s, and 2 3s to move up to get him. And now you've given up 2 number ones, a third, and that guy to get Matthew Stafford. So in a way, you could look and say Matthew Stafford cost you 4 number ones, 2 seconds, and a third, or 2 thirds.
and a player.
And you want this mess better
That's
work.
what you literally paid for Matthew
it
Stafford.
better work day one, or it's the worst thing that's ever. It's worse than the
Okay.
Herschel. It's worse than the Herschel Walker trade.
Right.
in my
Okay.
opinion.
Now we were on the other side of the Herschel Walker trade.
Yeah.
What happened to Minnesota that thought we're just, running
Minnesota
back away?
still hasn't won jack.
Thank
They
you.
still haven't won
Thank
jack.
You. Right. Exactly.
They're one
They haven't
game
won
away
jack.
from the Super
You look at the Washington football team that traded 3 number ones and a second to move up to get RG3. He was good for 1 year.
And they're still looking for a quarterback.
And they're still right. And after spending a number one on Haskins, and after spending $70 million, David, what's up? And spending, they've spent 4 number ones since 2013. 72,000 on Alex Smith, 45 on Kirk Cousins, and they don't have a quarterback.
Still don't have a quarterback. That's
Okay.
wild. That's wild to me.
Right?
And they still gonna probably do they draft a quarterback this year, even after all of that and their bad luck?
Man, they probably do. Well, they're okay. Well, here's the thing: they're talking about they were supposedly in on the trying to get Stafford. They were offering a number one.
It sounded like a Washington move too. It really did. I actually expected them to get
So
him.
they were looking to spend a number one for Stafford. So you got to think they're looking to trade for somebody.
Oh my God, Washington's gonna give up like 5 number ones to get Watson.
But see, the other thing too, but Watson wants to go to the Jets.
He might.
But it doesn't matter where Watson where he wants to go.
Washington. Look, put it this way: if Washington thinks they're a quarterback away, and if Ron Rivera thinks that he can make it work, they're gonna try and trade and give up the whole farm for him.
That may be true.
But see, the other thing too is Stafford had saying where he went to. They gave him a say of where he wanted to go. So he didn't want to go to Washington, even if they were willing to give up the farm for him.
But maybe Watson would go to Washington. It's better than Houston.
Well, he wants to
Is it?
follow his buddy.
Is it really?
I mean, yeah. Look at Houston. Houston is a dumpster fire right now.
The thing is, though,
Houston is so bad that they traded DeAndre Hopkins for nothing.
the rumor
Well-
is, though, that Watson wants to follow Harden and go to New York to the Jets.
For what?
That's the rumors are going.
It's a little weird to me, but hey.
Well,
It's a little weird to me, but hey.
Buddy.
all right, Vikings. Okay, now you said something that was really interesting. What's up, Simba? Vikings set themselves up for failure extending Kirk freaking Cousins. Anyone agree? Now, I've heard that Cousins might get traded, or at least most of it is just bullshit.
might be rumor.
But Kirk Cousins and Jimmy Garoppolo switching
What does that
for
do?
the 49ers. Well, because Kirk Cousins worked with Shanahan in Washington.
Bro, why doesn't Minnesota
and then
just cut
Garoppolo, okay, Minnesota, but it doesn't matter.
Why don't
They,
they just
they
go
were
get
they were
Case
one
Keenum
step
back?
away from the Super Bowl with Case Keenum.
Yeah.
And they thought, like you thought, oh, if we get Kirk Cousins, we get a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Roland's review. What's up, Roland? How you doing? Mike, is your mic on? Oh, I probably turned it off over there. Hold up. Hey, hang on. Broke ass media. I got to do everything.
Bam, BAM.
Broke ass media.
What's going on, everybody?
Hold up.
While Mark's over there, I'll man down the fort for a
I'm not
second.
breathing.
Shanahan likes Kirk. Yeah, he likes Kirk. Yeah.
I mean, that's what we wanted before Garoppolo. He wanted.
You're not plugged in.
Now it was, but it wasn't working.
Okay, plug it in.
Before it was plugged in.
Because I had it off. Because that's the other mic. Okay. Turn that one. There we go.
All right.
That should get my. Sorry,
All right,
we're
I can kinda hear it now.
up in here.
Well, Shanahan wanted Kirk Cousins before Garoppolo. He actually wanted Kirk Cousins.
There. Okay, you can hear Mike real good now. All
And
right.
it makes sense. I mean,
I mean, it does.
it makes sense. They work together, so he.
I mean, it does.
Okay, so we can actually really hear you well. So actually, yours is you got that high quality,
Yeah, you got
quality
the
H2.
high quality over there.
I mean, it was only $30 microphone.
Well, it sounds
Sounds real good.
when you laugh, it kind of breaks a little bit. But broke ass media
You
in full
can turn it
effect.
down.
Did I miss the super chat, Alan Williams? Okay, I'm sorry, I missed the super chat because it's Friday.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm in the chat. At least.
Hey, Jake.
Okay. All right, so it's Friday night. We just got paid. All right, so Law Nation's supposed to be chiming in with us in a few minutes or so.
Oh, Law Nation fans got to be ecstatic.
Oh, he definitely is. I'm going to ask Law if Law Nation fan is one of his people.
Who knows if it is or not?
Okay, so you guys are looking at another view over there of Michael Anthony.
So you were bringing up the point about Case Keenum, and I don't want to take full credit for it. I got that from Vach. Vach said it, and it made a lot of sense. Where it was pretty much saying that football math doesn't make sense. Where it's like, hey, we got everything else but a quarterback. Let's bring in Kirk Cousins, and maybe because he's better than Case Keenum,
Oh, please.
it's going to get us over the hump. And they've gone nothing but backwards since.
Okay, well, I'm going to say this. The thing is with quarterbacks, I'm getting feedback. I hear it a little bit in the...
Yeah, I hear it a little bit.
Okay. I don't know if that's from your headset or not. Okay, let me turn that off and see if that gets it. Okay, sometimes it'll come back through there, so when Law comes, I got to flip him over. Sometimes the quarterback gets too much credit, too much blame. As we were listening to Jimmy Johnson right there saying that, Troy was great, I had to get talent around him and stuff to make him a great quarterback, or to make the team win. I also had a great defense. Now, the interesting thing is this. Now, right now, everybody is on Josh Allen's jockstrap, right? Everybody's saying that Josh Allen, he's a great quarterback. He's going to get paid in the mid-40s and stuff, and deservingly so. The interesting thing is, if we look at Josh Allen's stats. What's up, Stuart? How are you doing, man? All right, so if I look at Josh Allen, this is what's interesting. Because you know what they always say about my quarterback, Dak Prescott, and I know the Dak haters are going, here we go, everything goes back to Dak. It's like, well, yeah, it does, because at the moment, we only have Ben DiNucci as a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, my God.
But take a look to the screen to your left right there, and look at the numbers for Josh Allen his first 2 years.
Trash. I don't even have to look. I already know.
Well,
I already know.
Okay, but now, so really you're looking at him being, 1 year extremely well. I mean, playing incredibly well. You look at his yards per completion went up, 1.2 yards. You look at his touchdowns, went up to 37.10. The thing that's different about this year versus the other years, to me, is that they got Stephon Diggs. So isn't this the whole argument that, you can't win unless you have talent around you? Am I wrong on that? Because clearly his numbers exploded from last year. He went from 20 TDs to 37. And the major difference was you put Stephon Diggs there, who is becoming, didn't he lead the league last year?
Yeah, he did.
Right? Now, I'm not saying that Stephon Diggs threw the ball to himself, because he didn't. You have to have players for that quarterback. You can't just say, Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to send you to the Jets and you're going to be great. You're not. Because you got to have somebody to throw to. And this is that misnomer that a lot of fans will have. This will be that misnomer. Oh, I'm sorry. I had the wrong camera.
It's all good.
Sorry, but if you look at the numbers, you'll see that Josh Allen literally exploded last year with his numbers. I mean, literally. And the difference to me is, one, they have a really good defense. My mic is off. My mic's not off. My mic's not off.
I can hear you, so
No,
I think
you're
somebody's
good.
just messing with you.
See, I think you're.
Yeah, you're good.
Somebody's messing with me. Brandon, my mic is not off. Ha 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 ha. Mark, where are you? I forgot. I'm sorry. I got so many things up there in here. I've got actually you now that's on here as well and everything else. So
Yeah, you're good.
all right, so the question now is, as we start getting ready for the draft, now I'm not the draft man, I'm not the expert here, and I have not had time to study because I'm still dealing with all of the upheaval right now with the quarterback situations and whether or not we have one or not.
I'm not an expert either. I just play one on YouTube.
Well, that's what we all do.
Yeah.
but quite frankly, we're no worse than anybody else. Oh, one last thing before we switch over here.
What's up?
What was your thoughts on Carson Palmer talking about Dak Prescott should take less money?
For one,
Situation requires is a whole lot more, and you shut your mother ass up.
Yeah,
that was
facts.
my take.
Because I don't think that he would have. I don't think he would have said that about anybody else. I really don't.
Justin says I would take Farley and trading down because I'm sure we get lost in the coverage. He doesn't get off blocks.
Testing.
Yeah, Mike, yeah, we hear you. We hear you well. I hear you tapping on the mic.
I don't hear.
I hear you real well. I trust me. Heard you tapping me.
I only hear you and DMV.
Okay. Well, don't worry. They can hear you too. I don't know why you're not hearing us. Okay. Are you set up to my mic? To the set over here? Are you sure it's turned up? Because it might not be turned up on there. Is there like a receiver for that?
I'm listening to the stream and I don't hear it.
I can hear him though.
I can hear the stream on you now.
On both, I don't hear it on either one.
Okay. Not sure why you're not hearing that on there, but I can hear you here. Can everybody? Can you hear Michael? Can you hear Michael? Okay. Slater is our next tackle. Troy Aikman as a quarterback coach. How can I be part of the Jobu Sports Report? Law Nation fan. Oh, there's Miss Jackie. How you doing, Miss Jackie?
Yeah, Miss Jackie said hi a long time ago.
I'm sorry, I missed it. I was sitting here running my mouth. But Carson Palmer, I find it amazing that a guy who came out of college, got a $43 million contract in 2001, sat on the bench for the first 3 years.
Why he didn't give them money back?
Wait. He sat on the bench for the first 3 years, played 2 seasons, tore his knee up, and then got a $118 million extension. He made $175 million in his career. Played in 3 playoff games where he threw 5 touchdown passes and 7 interceptions, and they won 1.
Talk about underachieving.
And he is one of the top 10 highest paid players in the history of the NFL.
Wasn't he a number 1 overall pick?
He was the number 1 overall pick. Okay? And he has the nerve to tell somebody else that they need to take a pay cut. And what's funny is I actually found a clip from First Take a year ago where he said the exact same thing. So my question is, if we're talking about Dak needs to take a pay cut for the Dallas Cowboys, How come they don't say that about anybody else in the NFL?
Because for one, it's the Dallas Cowboys and it's the biggest soundbite. So Carson Palmer had to know that his voice was going to be heard. Because quite honestly, who's thinking about Carson Palmer at this point? Were you thinking about Carson Palmer and anything that he said? Did you care about anything that Carson Palmer had to say before that?
I'm just
Nobody.
going, no. You know why I responded to it? Because you get the trolls in here. See, Carson Palmer said he needs to take less money. It's like, what does this, mother humper have to do with what Dak Prescott's getting paid?
Why he ain't take less money and get
That's what
money
I'm
back
saying.
for when he got hurt?
Thank you.
Why you ain't get money back?
You didn't certainly say, you know what, let me give money. And the funny thing, what the funny thing about this is, as we look at this, they had in 2006, now remember, he had Ocho Cinco.
Mm-hmm.
He also had, I keep calling him Rico Suave.
Oh, yeah,
Houshmandzadeh, right? And they had
the late Chris Henry.
The running back?
No, he was another receiver, but Chris Henry was pretty good.
Right, and they also had a
away.
1,300 and a 1,400-yard running back in 2 of those years. You had all that.
Yeah, you had defense, too. That defense was, man.
And so you did nothing with that.
They had Cedric Benson, right?
Yeah. You had all that, and so how come you weren't? And you got the nerve, being a journeyman quarterback, because you went to you got traded, I believe, 2 number ones to go to the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Another one of those situations where we look at teams desperate for quarterbacks that reach for him. He didn't bust a grape.
Why he ain't get a Raiders? Why he ain't take a pay cut for the Raiders so they can have a better team?
Yeah.
I mean, they gave up 2 number ones for you, bro. Why you ain't getting no money back?
I love Gina says he needs to shut his motherfucking ass up. Period.
He does.
Oh man,
he does.
But yeah, so
my thing is, you don't count anybody else's pockets. That's a rule of a man right there for real. Like,
that I agree.
You don't count another man's
100.
pockets.
Did you just unplug your mic? Mike, I think you got something wrong. Do you have a loose cable in there? Okay, it's kind of like it's in and out. Tap on it. I hear you.
I don't hear it on the stream.
Okay, but it's in my set here. It's coming through here.
I'm listening to it live and I don't hear it
You listen to it live on what? You know?
on both. I listen
Okay.
to you now and on the YouTube. I don't hear it.
Okay, let me ask you: are you guys hearing Michael Anthony Fitness? Because you're coming through on the microphone, and because you're both on the same mixer over here. Everybody's hearing Law too, right? Okay, killed off you. Quit spreading lies. You're absolutely right, Gina. Jackie, they're paying everybody else but tripping on Dak. That's the thing that's funny because, I don't hear him talking about Dak Prescott. When D-Law got paid, that he should leave some money for Dak.
I don't hear that Zeke should take a pay cut or should give some money back. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
both of them,
They were talking about we're not going to reset the market for Zeke.
yeah.
I do remember that. I'm talking about Carson Palmer's punk ass. I don't remember Carson Palmer coming out and running his mouth about none of that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing that's really kind of amazing to me. Mark C. Jennings report
I
about
didn't hear
your
Carson Palmer. Look, Philadelphia is in salary cap hell right now. How come he not telling Carson Wentz
Jackie?
punk ass to get some money back?
Jerry Panina report about my racks. Where was his report at, Miss Jackie? David says he hear you. No, Law's not on yet. Tim says he hears all 3 of us.
I don't hear it on the stream.
Okay, well, maybe it's something wrong with you. Law's not on yet, so I was screaming to the heavens for Jerry not to pay D-Law. But quite frankly, actually D-Law's contract's not that bad right now. Because you're looking at what you're seeing happen. The thing is when you're in the moment of somebody getting paid, you're looking at it being the highest paid, and you're comparing it to everybody who's not paid. Think about Kirk Cousins. How about if we had Kirk Cousins' deal right now? From when he signed for 28. You'd say that's a steal right now. But when Kirk Cousins, everybody's like, how the hell is Kirk Cousins the highest paid quarterback in the NFL? It doesn't last.
It doesn't.
It does not last. So that's where we're saying, as Carson Palmer and everybody's saying, he should be getting 35. Well, guess what? Aaron Rodgers is saying he wants a raise right now. Aaron Rodgers wants a raise. All right? Yeah, and if Aaron Rodgers gets a raise, him and Russell Wilson got their deals at the same time.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson going to be like looking at all these other guys getting paid. I want a raise too.
Facts.
And Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, those guys are going to, and Baker Mayfield.
I'm terrified that Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen get done before Dak, and that blows my mind because their deals are going to blow things out the water. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
And see, here's the thing.
Especially Buffalo.
The Cowboys, had they gotten this deal done even last year, even if the Cowboys had said, you know what, Dak, we'll just drop off that 5th year. We'll just drop it off.
That's all they had to do.
We'll go ahead and give you the 4 years that you want, and we're done. Because then you would have him set up for 4 years at $35 million average salary, and you would be ahead of the curve. Instead, we don't believe in that. We're going to stay on principle. We want 5 years. Well, guess what? I bet you Dak turns around. His agent says we want 3 years.
And rightfully so. We want 3 years. And my thing is, as an organization, why is that a problem? If you feel like, okay, well, he's going to try and reset the market, then go get another quarterback and groom him behind him and have him ready. I mean, hello, that's how the game works, right?
Yeah.
If you feel some type of way about that extra year, then go get a quarterback to groom after him. That way you don't have to pay him and you'll have a guy that's ready. But that we don't believe in being proactive in Dallas. And that's the problem. We're always behind the curve. We're still stuck in the 90s.
Right.
We've been stuck in the 90s for 20-some damn years.
You know what? I've got my Aunt Mabel. My Aunt Mabel, who used to be a school teacher. I would go and work at my Aunt Mabel. She had like 10 acres of land. About 4 of it was wooded. So I had a big Cub Cadet tractor. I would go spend like 6 hours on a Saturday and cut her grass. And I'd come back from college and stuff. But my Aunt Mabel was funny because my dad took care of her after her husband died. So every day he would come in, check on her. He'd go grocery shopping for her. And what she'd always do is she would say, it was $34.75. And so she would give him, here's $35, keep the change. I would come home from college and stuff and do stuff there and all that. Here's 50 cents so you get yourself a soda back to school. And think that she was doing something that, man, we're paying you a whole lot of money, for that. It's like you're stuck from all these years before.
Inflation, baby. Inflation.
And this is where, they've been preaching that, Dak needs to leave money on the table. If you had done this thing and just said, we're just going to pay you fair market value, 2 years ago, we would have a $30 million contract right now.
And we would have a lot more money to work with.
And they're going to screw around. They're going to screw around and, again, do the same thing. And look at what teams are doing right now.
Maybe we still have Byron Jones. If we
got teams scrambling around for bottom feeders and thinking that they're gold. See, here's the thing. When your car breaks down and you got to be work tomorrow, guess what? Those other cars that you're looking at a lot look pretty good because I got to get my ass to work.
Facts.
And you're buying a lemon because you were desperate and you had to drive. Instead of saying, you know what, I don't need a car right now. Let me take my time and look around and do something. Okay? And see, that's where teams like the Rams are right now. The Rams know we're over the salary cap. Aaron Donald ain't got but so many more years. We need a quarterback, so let's do the best thing we can. We're going to pay too much to get one because we think that this is going to get us to work tomorrow.
You want to know something crazy?
What's that?
I'm trying to think about the Rams and what the hell they're thinking. Like, they're the ones who say we don't believe in number 1 picks. But the number 1 picks got your ass to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Jared Goff and Todd Gurley and Aaron Donald. And y'all dumbasses think the number 1 picks can't help you. Well, I can't wait to see the Stafford thing put pie on their faces, bro. I can't wait. I can't wait.
But see, this is, to me, you know what it reminds me of? Is Sam Bradford. You know how many jobs Sam Bradford got? People kept thinking, Sam Bradford, he's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He kept getting job after job after. That's another guy that made over $125 million.
In the words of Michael Anthony Fitness, trash.
All right, so
trash.
We've spent enough time with talking about the trash, and I mean Carson Wentz and Matthew Stafford. And I've got Ram fans I've got Ram fans and Lion fans that are all pissed off at me because the Ram fans are mad because they think, oh, we got a great quarterback. Why are you trashing him? And of course Lion fans are like, why are you trashing Goff, man? He gonna be our quarterback for at least a year. So everybody hates me.
Man, I think the Lions made out like a fat cat. I'll be honest with you. I don't think Goff is that bad, honestly. I really think that the Rams have shown that they can win playoff games with him. And keep in mind, this is how you do a dude that had surgery a week ago and had to come into a playoff game. Mm-hmm. This is how you do, and he won you the playoff game. This is how you do him.
Well,
hey, look, bro, like they got their loyalty's a little bit different than mine. I'll tell you that much.
We still got 5 rings. Law Nation fan, where are you? Oh, we're sitting here. Man, you called. Man, you told him to sit your ass down. Damn. No more accounts? Oh, man. What, did I miss something? Damn, we got 5 rings. Why you hard on a brother. You hard on a brother. Carson Palmer should give some of his money back. You know what Carson Palmer should do? He said, you know what, Dak? Why don't you take less money? Since I was way overpaid, I'm going to compensate part of your contract. How about you do that? Because you literally stole money.
How about this? How about Carson Palmer? Maybe it's because of your bum ass that the quarterback's value is inflated. Because you took a lot of money to be that number 1 pick, and that set the market. That's why these quarterbacks get paid, because of your bum ass.
You want to hear
and Sam Bradford's bum ass.
You want to hear some shit?
Go ahead.
In 2015, you know how much he made in 2015?
How much?
$29 million.
Ah, come on.
That was it. $29 million is what he got paid in 2015.
So what did that get paid this year? 31 mil for
31, right?
31 for the franchise.
Yeah.
And he made $29 million to be a bum ass quarterback.
Dak has made.
I would rather have hurt ass Dak.
36 in 5 years.
I would rather have hurt ass Dak make $31 million and not play any games than have Carson Palmer go out there and look like that for $29 million.
Yeah.
I don't want.
But
So I think people are putting Law Nation fan on notice here. Von Miller, yeah.
And he's not all. He doesn't have it all the way in the head either. He's not one of those head cases.
Yeah, Rams are asses. But see, that goes back to the whole Carr thing.
Yeah.
They know that if we don't do something, because we've got no first-round picks the next 2 years before the trade. Next year. They had no cash to spend on free agents. They didn't have a way to get a quarterback. They had to overpay to try and get somebody that they think is going to be good enough. Now, he may end up turning around and being okay, but I just don't see it from the body of work. And like we said, they had the number 2 defense in 2014?
Yeah, 14.
With Megatron. And, damn.
Oh, that was the year we beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah, in the playoffs.
Yeah, that same year we was going back and we was
but
talking
you have to
about.
also remember too, Sue stepped on Aaron Rodgers' pain. So that might have been revenge against the Lions for him doing that to Aaron Rodgers the week before. The week before.
Right, that's a
squad. They had Reggie Bush on that team too.
They had they had 3 All-Pros on defense.
And they had a Hall of Famer. Well,
Okay.
I don't know if Reggie Bush was Hall of Famer, but
3. Okay, let me say again. They had 3 All-Pros on defense.
To be Hall of Famer wide receiver.
Who did they have? They had
Safety. My man from the Texans originally. God, what? I'm having a brain fart here. Their linebacker. Hold on, let me go back. See, I got to pull it up. I'm sorry, man. I was getting ready to get on Patrick
That
Sewell.
line team was good. I remember that.
Here we go. Hold on.
And it's crazy because that was the year they had Caldwell coaching, right? Yeah, Jim Caldwell. The best line team they've had in a long ass time.
All right, here we go. Pro Bowl. Oh, Glover Quinn.
Glover Quinn. Okay, I was going to say Glover.
Okay, but look at this. Sure. Pro Bowlers: Calvin Johnson, Glover Quinn, Matthew Stafford, Ndamukong Suh, Golden Tate. All pros. Okay, all pros. When was the last time we had an all pro on defense?
Who, us?
Us.
Shit.
D-Ware?
Probably Roy Williams. Maybe was he I think he was
D-Ware had to be. DeMarcus Ware had to be.
Yeah, he had to be.
When he had the 20 sacks that 1 year.
He had to be all
okay. Ndamukong Suh, Glover Quinn, and DeAndre Levy were all pros on their defense. Damn. They had the number 2 defense that was 8th in taking the ball away. Okay, so you had a team right there. And so that's where I'm like you. I'm waiting for that one to blow up in their face. I don't think that one's going to be the one.
I think the Lions will have
God,
more success.
Like
than
that's what
the
I keep
Rams.
saying. I said that on my channel. Like Rams, this ain't the one. Like this ain't the one, y'all. Like
Y'all better draft somebody.
All right, so DMV.
okay. So the guy I got for you guys tonight, I'm seeing him slip down the draft boards. And I've been told, I've actually been, not told, but I've been reading, numerous reports that if he's at number 10, the Cowboys are going to take him no matter what. So, the guy we're talking about is Penei Sewell, tackle from Oregon. So, yeah, Mark is going to cue up the video now. We're going to talk about him a little bit. I mean, I don't really have too much about Penei Sewell. A lot of you guys love him.
I'll never forget when it first happened.
A lot of you guys love Penei
I've heard
Sewell. I think that he might be a work in progress, but he's so big and so strong and so athletic that I think that a good coach, a good NFL coach, could have him as to me.
So, what the?
Yeah. So does anybody know Game of Thrones?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so this is like this is an analogy. Like I call him the Mountain.
Okay.
The Mountain is like the bodyguard to the Queen. You know what I'm saying? And
that last episode where
yeah,
he finally got
he
it.
had
But
to fight
okay.
the dog.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So he's very athletic as a left tackle, but sometimes he needs to move his feet a little bit. But when he gets moving and when he gets in space and he hits you, this guy right here can hurt you. He can hurt you, but there's some inconsistencies in this game a little bit. But I can't argue with him being at 10 and not taking him. A lot of drafts have him in the top 5. Some I see have him slide into 8.
Well, see, this is where it's going to be difficult. I'm going to pause this for a second. The part of the reason why I don't like the mock drafts, especially this early, is you don't know who's going to be who as far as quarterbacks go, okay? The fact that now the Lions, they may look at this and say, you know what, maybe we'll go ahead and try and get a quarterback now. We can go ahead and have behind Jared Goff, we can try and groom him. So the Lions going to take a quarterback. Okay, we know that if the Eagles get rid of Carson Wentz, now all of a sudden they're getting a quarterback, right?
Well, unless they decide to go all in on Jalen Hurts.
Right, but I'm not sure. Okay, that's a great story and all that, and he was an upgrade.
He was a second-round pick, though, so it's not like a second-round pick is a lot.
It's a lot, but you look at it as we got to pick. You got 2 number 1s.
True.
And you're sitting at 6.
Number 1 for us.
Okay.
And Green Bay.
Look what you gave up to get up there before to try and take a flyer on Carson Wentz, and you're dealing with Howie Roseman.
Yeah.
Okay, so you may be looking and saying, and because they might say, you know what, we could trade Hurts and get something.
Yeah.
So now you're looking and saying, okay, you think of course Jacksonville wants a quarterback.
Yeah, they do.
The Jets probably will want a quarterback.
Unless
if I'm the Jets, I wouldn't want a quarterback, and they could be a team that doesn't. But
okay, but somebody else will trade in and try and get one.
They'll probably trade the number 2 pick.
Use that as leverage for somebody to come in.
Now you got, of course,
they got 2 number 1
If
picks.
I was the Jets, that's what I would do.
They got 2 number 1
Miami,
picks,
of
The
course.
quarterback will go number 2. I'm with you.
Miami, I don't think they'll go for a quarterback having just got Tua, but I could be wrong on that.
Holmes Sanchez.
Y'all got him. Ben Holmes. Another super
We got another. Okay. All right. Yeah, I know I can't dance. I know I can't dance. Okay, so Miami probably will not go for a quarterback. I don't think, but I could be wrong. They might not be sold on Tua.
There's a possibility that they're not.
Okay. We already talked about the Eagles that they may be. So that's like 3 or 4 teams right there in the top 6. Oh, we said the Lions. It might be 5 teams that want to get a quarterback. If that's the case, you got a good chance of him being there. You got, of course, Kyle Pitts will be there. Who knows? That's where it's too many unknowns to try and project. If you got to put out 20 different mock drafts, it's like, what do they really mean?
True. No, you're absolutely right, and it's more so to kind of keep the options open. Let everybody know, okay, where the draft board could fall, what you would do. What you would do here, what you would do there. It's all speculation based on. But I will tell you this, though, which is kind of weird. A lot of the GMs somehow follow suit to where these guys are, like who's on the board or who's valued where or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's actually kind of weird. It's almost like they pay attention to these mocks as well.
Sometimes I think they pay too much attention to it because I think that's what they did with Morris Claiborne. That they fell in love with the fact that everybody said Morris Claiborne is the guy, and let's go up and get him. And that was before really we had Will McClay, who was doing our draft board, where it seemed like we kind of stabilized. It used to be kind of like draft day with our draft picks, where Jerry Jones is always trying to wheel and deal and everything else. And I'm not sure if he thought he was actually making the team better or just getting the thrill of I made that trade.
Who was the team that we traded with to get up to 6?
I can't remember. I can look it up.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because I'm trying to figure out. Remember, we were talking about giving up King's ransoms. And
I'm sure you can look up
after
what we gave.
Was it the Rams?
Let me look up.
I don't know why I think it's the Rams.
You can look up on Morris Claiborne trade, and I'm sure there'll be somewhere it'll tell you who we traded and what we gave up for him.
I'm doing that right now. The Dallas Cowboys made the first shocking move of the 2012 draft, trading to the St. Louis Rams for Morris Claiborne. The Cowboys gave up the 14th overall and the 45th pick.
I wonder who the Rams got with those. I wonder who the Rams got with that.
I can look it up.
I mean, they didn't do anything.
They didn't do anything with it.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back while I'm looking that up. Let's go back to your offensive tackle.
Okay, so Penei Sewell, man. So right here, can't remember. I think this is a pass blocking situation right here, and no, I'm sorry, it's a run. So he has a kick out on the zone. So actually, it's a reach block in the zone left. He does a good job on that one. And then I think that this is going to be a play that's identical. I can't remember off the top of my head, so I kind of got to watch it on this one. But he's coming to motion. Yeah, so it's almost identical. And you see how, he created that hole for the running back to go behind him if he needed to. Now, this is the play right here. I think he's in pass protection. And let's see what happens on this one. I'll diagnose it right when it happens. Motion, linebacker slides down. Okay. So he's uncovered and he kind of misses the backer trying to get to the second level. So he kind of struggles a little bit in space. Mm-hmm. When he gets you, he gets you. But when he misses, he whips. You know what I'm saying? Here he's in pass protection.
Let the dog out too.
Good slide protection on that one. Good job. Hands and feet were in good position. And then this play, 48's going in motion. Lines up 1-to-1. And he kind of whiffs on getting to the second level there. So there's some inconsistencies. And this is Wisconsin right here. So this is a team that normally has a good front seven year in and year out. Here, he misses on the stunt right here, and that creates pressure. But, Herbert's pretty good at staying in there. So watch this. He's going to chase that guy inside the outside backer right here. And he's going to miss the stunt right there. So he has to be a little bit more patient right there. Okay, so let's see what he does on this play right here. Did you pause it?
I didn't think I did, but I guess it did. Okay, my bad.
All right, that's all good. All right, so slots coming in motion. And see, look, right there, he stalemated on a short situation, which I'm a guy that big, you seen him getting stalemated and allowing somebody to get that type of leverage to me wasn't, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? You huge. Like, you got to be able to use your leg drive, and sometimes he doesn't drive his legs. You see right there, he kind of whips, but Herbert makes a good play, makes a good read. But then you see some of those inconsistencies, and then watch this play right here. He's going to come down here on the screen to the outside, and he's going to absolutely destroy somebody.
Was a club there.
On the
move. Like Tyron Smith in his younger days.
Exactly. And so then you're going to see right here, they're going to move the pocket to the left on the rollout, and he's going to get his feet out there. He's going to get his hands, and he's going to seal that edge right there, and does a great job right there. So he had a much better job. He did a much better job against Auburn. I believe this play right here, he's uncovered, so he goes to the second level. And the one thing about him that's inconsistent, that was just a kick out. But he kind of doesn't move. You see, he doesn't drive his legs that much. Mm-hmm. And that kind of concerns me a little bit.
Yeah,
I think
it's all in the footwork.
But I think that's something that can be worked out of him. I think that a good coach can, but see, he gets to the second level here. Good job, but he
kind
stops
of
moving
stops his feet.
Stops his feet.
Yeah, you can't do that because what happens, and then he kind of gets upright.
And that's how you get hurt.
When you get hurt, and also how you get beat, where guys are going to be going right around you. You got to keep driving.
Yeah. So again, this is going to be him. He's going to do a good job getting to. This time, he's going to do a much better job. He's going to smack the backer. Create that hole for the back to score, and that's pretty much it. So I kind of wanted people to see the good, the bad, and the fact that he's so big and he's so. I'm not gonna say he's raw. I just think that he needs to refine some techniques a little bit. But I would absolutely I wouldn't be mad at all if the Cowboys took him at 10 if he fell to 10. And maybe some scout out there sees some of the things that I'm talking about right now, and that will probably get him out of the top 5 because. Personally, I see Slater as a much more refined tackle, much better lineman, and I think that the ceiling is higher for Penei Sewell, but I think that Slater is the better player going into day one. So it just really depends on whether you want the better player coming in to start, or if you want a guy that has the potential.
Okay, all right. Back to that draft, and this is what's interesting too. So, we of course took Morris Claiborne. We moved up. We took him. Okay. Right.
Yep.
With number 6 pick, we traded our 14th pick to the Rams.
Michael
Brockers.
He's a good player. He's a good player.
Yeah, really good player. But I just want you to look at some of the players that were taken after them. Bruce Irving, Quentin Coples. It was okay. Dre Patrick, Melvin Ingram.
Did you say we traded pick number 45?
Yeah, 45 I think it was.
Look who number 45 was.
Who it was?
Alshon Jeffrey. That's two good players. That's two good players.
Definitely a lot better than Morris Claiborne.
But
sure
look
at
at
some of the guys that like Janoris Jenkins was in the second round
last year.
I think Fletcher Cox was drafted after that too.
Your D tackle. Look at Derek Wolfe.
Fletcher Cox was 12. I mean, Don Terry Poe. In his younger
Damn,
days,
Chandler Jones.
Stephon Gilmore was 10. Stephon Gilmore was 10.
Oh, no. Don't tell me that.
Luke Clutchley was 9.
Bruh.
Okay.
Bruh.
Right. So you start, and this is the thing that's crazy about
Fletcher Cox. Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying.
Bruh.
So we moved up to take Morris Claiborne, and you look at all these guys that were there, and this is where the draft is crazy because you just don't know what you don't know, and you're going to end up having guys that you're going to go up and say, let's reach and get this guy. That's why I can't stand trading draft picks, because to me, when you draft, I don't care if it's a first round pick or second round pick. It's a crapshoot. It's 50-50.
It is, definitely.
And so if you're tying up 2 picks, to me, you got about a 25% chance of getting return on it.
Absolutely.
Because you are now having to make up for what you didn't get in the second round.
Facts.
And so you look at this, and you look at the 2 players that basically we gave up if we had drafted those 2. That was a whole lot more than what you got from Morris Claiborne. So when I look in here about the Rams, let's just trade 3 number 1s and get Deshaun Watson.
I'll even tell you this, Mark. Look at who number 9 was. Look at who number 9 was if we was going to trade up.
That's what I said. Look, yeah, that's what I said.
Oh
right.
God, I didn't even see that.
And that's the thing that's crazy about the draft.
Can't
People
evaluate.
get all bent out of shape or excited about what they do in the draft. I mean, I'm sure Arizona was excited about getting Josh Rosen.
I thought he was going to be good too, though. I'm not going to lie to you. But
Okay,
yeah.
but you just don't know.
You don't.
Denver was probably excited about it getting Paxton Lynch.
You know what is crazy to me? And, we talked about it. We fight about this so much. We're fighting about the tight end position. Do you know how many teams miss on quarterbacks in the first round every year? Teams miss on the quarterback probably the most out of any position.
Okay, look at the 3 number 1s in 2016. Goff, Wentz, and Paxton Lynch.
Exactly.
Okay. Look at 2012. You had Luck, RG3, Was Russell Wilson's third round?
Russell was third round.
Right.
Yeah, third round.
Okay, so look at that. Look at I can't remember which year it was, but Winston and Mariota, 1 and 2.
And they're not even starting anymore.
That's my point when people try to put positions on like, well, you shouldn't draft somebody here. You know how many teams miss on quarterbacks? It never stops them from drafting, never, and they still pay quarterback. I think the quarterback position is a little bit overvalued, even though it's the best. It's still, you need a quarterback, and it's important.
You have to. Okay, I agree. You have to have a quarterback, but to me, you still got to have the defense. I know you want Kyle Pitts.
I'm with you. Look, I think to me, I'm an old school guy. I like running the football. I like playing defense. I like play action. I love play action.
Yeah.
I love play action. I love running, play action, playing defense. I do.
All right. So as you've been setting up,
I'm an offensive coach.
I played offensive guard in high school. College, I played nose tackle. Either way, I'm a trench guy. Okay. So if you're saying we're going to fix the offensive line, it just depends. To me, whatever you do with that first pick needs to be an impact guy. When you look at how the Cowboys have had like really good seasons turned around, you looked at 2016, you got Zeke Elliott, which made our running game night and day better. Okay, you ended up getting Dak Prescott, thank God, because we were planning on Tony Romo starting, but Tony Romo did what Tony Romo's body was doing, was just breaking down.
Yeah, absolutely.
You ended up getting Malik Collins, who played valuable time, and you got Anthony Brown, who also played valuable time. So you got an immediate boost out of 4 guys, and you also got Jalen Smith, who didn't play that first year, but you got immediate impact from that. And that's what you really need to get, this year, is we need to get some impact in this draft. We need somebody that can help turn that identity on the defense. Now, CeeDee Lamb...
Does it have to be defense, though?
Well...
Because we're talking about identity.
Now if you're telling me we're going to get an offensive tackle that's going to be mean and nasty to start rebuilding, I'm okay. But what you're going to have to do is you're going to need to have that guy being a day one starter.
And see, that's where I'm a little worried because, see...
I can't draft somebody and have them sit on the bench.
I had the same argument with everybody on Twitter all day because I said, okay, cool. So we're going to say we should rebuild on offense by getting a tackle, right?
Right.
Because everybody's hurt. So why are we banking on Blake Jarwin coming back the same if he's coming off an injury? We've never seen him play a whole year.
Yeah, but he's younger and should be able to come back.
He should be, but I'm saying,
okay. I mean,
what has he done to have a placeholder?
Well, in my mind, and I get what you're saying about, because I can look at tight ends. I've said this before.
It's not just tight ends.
No, okay. I've said this before, though, about tight ends, because you could look at the last 5-7 years in the Super Bowl. One thing that they all have in common is everybody's got a great tight end. And you can look at, because what you can look at is look at some of the great wide receivers. Great wide receivers aren't the ones going to Super Bowls.
It's the tight
end. I mean, I agree with you on that one. I mean, the only great wide receiver you honestly look at that New England ever had was Randy Moss in the twilight of his career.
They lost.
You had guys like Danny Amendola and things like that. So you don't have like these lights out players, but they always had great tight ends. I get that.
You want to know what else New England had good early on in Tom Brady's career? They ran the ball really well,
and they always had a really great defense. See. The way some of you guys are out there, okay? I'm gonna put you on blast right now. The way some of you guys are, you say, well, Dak Prescott's trash because they keep trying to say this 1 and 3. They don't count the Giant game, where we basically was in cruise control, okay? And they don't look at it and say, well, you lost to the Rams where you got hosed by the officials. You lost in a shootout with Seattle.
Okay.
Okay. And what was the other game that we lost? Oh, the Browns, where we still scored 38 points.
Browns were a hell of a team.
Okay,
so they almost got the Chiefs,
deep,
man.
Right, they went deep in the playoffs. So they don't look at that and say, well, you got beat up because your defense couldn't hold nobody, okay?
We also turned
They
the
don't
ball
look
over
at it that way.
too.
They'll say, well, Dak ended up losing these games. So by that measure, do we look at Alex Smith and say Alex Smith is a great quarterback?
Hell no.
Because he got the team to the playoffs. By that measure, then he's a better quarterback than Dak Prescott.
Do I think that Alex Smith at one point was a solid quarterback? Yes. Was he ever great? No. Was he ever at Dak's level? No, he never was. He never was. Did he have a good year in KC? Yes, he did.
Because of coaching.
Miss Jackie.
Yeah,
Romo went
definitely
8-8.
Coaching matters, man. Coaching matters.
Oh, Miss Jackie. Uh-oh. Oh, Miss Jackie, she brings some fire. Romo went 8-8 3 times, and Dallas wrote the check. So please, be quiet. Go do your research on your team and know your 60-year history. Then you are ready for the conversation. Bam. She dropped the mic.
She sure as hell did.
Yeah, and we had no problem paying Tony Romo. They didn't say, you know what, Tony, why don't you leave some money on the table so we can get you an offensive line so you won't get the crap beat out of you. And he didn't certainly go back to them and say, you know what, how about you go ahead and take some of this money and invest in the offensive line because I'm getting the crap beat out of me. He took the money. And how come you didn't go to D-Law and say, you know what, D-Law, you got Dak Prescott over there, we got to pay him. You didn't go to Zeke Elliott, who still had 2 years left on his contract, and say, Zeke, you know, your boy, you know, he needs to get paid too. So I need you not to be the highest paid running back, you know, and resetting the market. They didn't do that.
Everybody said Zeke should get paid.
And they were the dumbasses that didn't get this thing done a couple years ago. Had they got it done at $30 million 2 years ago, we'd be like, shit, we rolling the dough. Now, here's an interesting take too. Because as we go through here, the thing that's funny is we have 14 teams that are currently underwater with money-wise, right?
Is Kansas City one of them? They gotta be.
Yeah, Kansas City is. Now, I don't hear any of them saying, you know what, you guys need to take less money so that way you can keep a team going. I only hear that about one player and one player only, and that's Dak Prescott. And it's funny because the Cowboys aren't like, you know, the Eagles that are second worst or New Orleans that's like 100 million under. And now what's interesting is this other part is Sports Track. They have changed their scale. They have assumed that the cap's going to be at 185.
Okay.
The rumors have been for a while that it's not going all the way down to the drop dead 175. That it's actually done better than what they thought it would as a worst case scenario. You know, had we missed a whole bunch of games and stuff, it would have dropped down. So now we're looking at about 185, somewhere around that number. So Sports Track has updated their site. So currently, as we sit right now, the Cowboys actually have $27 million of cap space. So you could get Dak Prescott's deal and go ahead and backload it a bit where the salary cap is going to blow. If you're actually going to be higher through the pandemic with no fans in there, what's going to happen at the end of next year when they end up redoing these television contracts? It's going to be a lot more money. So right there, if your whole thing is, well, they can't pay him. Well, it's funny because I think Buffalo has less money than we do, but they're going to find a way to pay Josh Allen.
I'm sure as hell will.
Okay,
they're gonna find that money.
The Rams are without money, and they're going to take a big ass hit to get rid of Jared Goff to bring in Matthew Stafford. They're going to it's going to cost them more money than keeping Jared Goff. The Eagles are going to take a hit trading him. They're going to have to eat $30 million in cap space. So all of these things, they've got worse situations. They were already $50 million in the hole.
So essentially,
it's bullshit, is what it is. Essentially,
well, me and you, we're guys that want Dak to get paid. We want Dak here. We want him as our leader.
And let me be clear here. I'm not wanting Dak to get paid because I want to say, you know what, I want the Cowboys to just take every dime and pay Dak Prescott because I just want to see. I want to see him like Jeff Bezos.
Together, even when the organization is going to mess up. The organization is going to mess up and have to let these guys go. You want your cornerstone guy there to be able to guide these young guys and bring them together like he's already done. Like CD. CD's pretty much said, we can't wait to have him back.
Well, I don't want to be one of these teams like the Washington football teams that, you know, through the course of 10 years, we traded for Donovan McNabb. That didn't work out. So then we package up picks and pick RG3. That didn't work out. Kirk Cousins, who was our 4th-round pick, he's playing okay. We franchise tag him a couple years. Then he goes because we're paying Alex Smith $72 million. Alex Smith gets hurt, and we draft a guy. You know, we reach for a quarterback in the draft, and he ends up getting released after 2 years. And now we're trying to trade picks to get, a retread quarterback, and maybe we got to draft another one. I don't want to be that team that's desperate trying to find something out there. And all these teams that are looking for stuff, I'm sorry, there ain't a whole lot of guys that are really very good. Deshaun Watson is it.
You want to know something? All of the teams that you just named and all of those
would
situations,
take Dak in a
they
heartbeat.
tried to cut corners at the quarterback position, and you can't do it. You can't cut corners. You got to develop the guys. You got to put them in a position. You got to put people around them like Jimmy was talking about. You got to have an environment for your quarterback to grow. And we groomed him, and we got the guy, and now we're bullshitting and trying to cut corners at the table.
Yeah.
And you can't do it.
And I might
not when you got the guy.
The thing is I might understand if the Cowboys, like let's say it's Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson who's had 2 contracts, okay? Been the highest paid. If they said, Russell, listen, man, we only have so many years left. We've paid you a whole lot of money. Let's go ahead and make a deal where we can try and make that one last run. I can understand that because he's got more than enough money.
Law Nation.
Oh. Where is it?
He's on the chat. You see, you got your text.
Oh, hey, Skype in, man. I thought you were Skyping in.
Sorry to ruin your point, but I just saw that pop up.
Yeah, well, I can try and call you.
And there's
I
a
thought
lot
you're going in at 9:30. You're Law Nation's biggest fan.
And a lot of people
you
say,
just got my text. Well, you can call in because we can go in bonus time.
a lot of people say they haven't seen me and Law Nation in the room at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, here we are.
The last time I saw Law Nation was before the pandemic.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Law Nation. Listen, Law Nation been right over here on
he's
that
been here
couch,
twice
man.
before the pandemic.
Just before the pandemic, because
That's
we
right,
were
just
talking
before.
about it. He was going to be coming back.
Yeah, for a third time for some convention or something for his work.
Yeah. Law, if you're still there,
some
man,
class for his work.
you can still Skype in. We'll go in a little bonus.
My
time.
guy, Law. I ain't talked to Law.
He said,
in a
"Okay,
long
give me a
time.
second." All right, seconds up. What's up, Derek Young? What's going on, man? Coming from a Cowboys fan myself, let's be real. Dak is the reason for Dallas' success. Mike J, what's up? Hey, Law, I just quoted you. Cowboys, Casey Stewart. How you doing, Casey? Can somebody, boom. Another one of the ladies, boom. Did I miss any of the lovely ladies in here having this conversation? Because see, I've been heated tonight. This whole thing of I don't know if you saw the what was going around Twitter that Dak Prescott had signed a 4-year deal for $180 million.
Nah,
And it was like NFL update, but the date was spelled DAFE. I was like, that's some scam shit right there. Okay.
Or how about if I don't get it here to the Apple Watch on my phone, like I don't believe it.
Well, no. The thing was, people were sharing to me. They were saying, "Oh my God, is this true? Did Dak Prescott sign a deal for 180?" I'm like, I ain't heard that. I said, believe me, if it had been, it would have blown the internet. The internet would be erupting like crazy. So that would be a no. What's the glass bottle called? The glass bottle? The one up here? Do you mean the Dallas Cowboy flask from Dak Prescott fan? Excuse me, Jobu Sports fan? That was a gift for the channel. And I've got to get some more Zaya rum to fill it up. So we only had a taste. I only got a taste up in there. But I'll get me another bottle in there. You're not ready for Philadelphia. Oh, Lordy.
Yeah.
So, Philadelphia, how are you feeling about your quarterback situation?
Philadelphia is got to be hurting right now, dog. Hey, how does it feel, man? You know how I went on the rant on him, and I just kept asking, how does it feel? Like, I know he's got to be in his feelings right now.
Well, watch.
Actually, most Eagle fans, it seems like they're excited about the possibility of getting a number 1 pick.
Well, they just want to get rid of Carson Wentz. A lot of them just want to get rid of him.
And I can't say that I blame him on. I mean, for being a Cowboys fan.
They want to get rid of the
They
man.
won the Super Bowl and they made the wrong decision, and now they're in the same position that they were in before they even drafted him. Actually, in the worst situation.
The thing that doesn't make sense to me about that situation is the fact that the team basically said, "Okay, we're going to get rid of the coach. We believe in you. You're who we invested in."
And he still wants to go.
We'll get rid of the coach that won the Super Bowl.
You know what happened?
What?
They hired the guy that they got now, and they were like, shit.
Right. And so if he still wants to go, and it's
still
like,
wants to
what did
leave.
we do?
Damn.
We just ruined our whole
We
organization.
couldn't hire
No.
anybody if we tried. Like we had
No.
to hire the guy from that was parking
You
cars.
know,
in the
what
parking lot.
started it though? That statue.
Well, that's
You have to walk through
Well,
that's what started.
that was the other thing I was talking about Philly 500
That's a
about.
statue.
Okay, I mean, think about this. I equate the whole statue situation of Doug Peterson and Nick Foles is if my wife had her first husband's picture on the nightstand, I'm gonna go to bed every night and see that this other guy that you done been with, I gotta look at him every time. So every time I go to the stadium, I know that statue out there. Not of me. You could at least put me in there holding a clipboard or something. But you got Nick Foles there, your last mistress, and you got half the fan base that's there that's saying, we want Nick Foles. And the funny thing was somebody was saying, what if the Eagles signed Nick Foles to be a backup to Hurts? I'd be like, damn. I would like, that's exactly what I'd love to have that circus because as soon as Hurts would throw an incomplete pass, they would say, put Nick Foles in.
I mean, Nick Foles is proven.
I mean, Nick
in that
Foles was
system.
okay in Chicago. He wasn't bad. He wasn't horrible.
But he's proven to work in that system.
Philadelphia, how is it you think you actually have a pulse? Seriously?
Philadelphia,
Seriously.
vampire out here.
Oh my God! You know what?
What's up, James?
Situation requires is a whole lot more, and you shut your mother ass up.
Okay. All right. How about that? Philadelphia, come on, man. Eagles are keeping Wentz. You know what? And see the thing. Right now it's a no-win situation. Whether you keep him or let him go, you're screwed. If you keep him, it's going to be they should have traded him. It's going to be in the back of their mind.
Maybe Wentz went to them after hearing that coach just pretty much fumble that interview. Maybe Wentz went to them and said, "Yo, I still want to be traded."
Right, exactly. There you go. I still want to. Right, that's what I'm saying. If you're the Eagles, it's like what? We just changed everything for you, and here it is. You want to go? I guess my man Law's not going to be able to jump on in. He said, "Give him a minute." Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Muke, you have to know your enemy. Foles got benched in Chicago. What are you talking about? He improved.
I thought he got hurt. And I thought that.
No, I think he did get hurt.
Got hurt.
I think he did.
I think his feelings got hurt.
He got hurt.
Yeah, I think he got hurt, and then that's why he was benched.
Oh, look, we got all of the losers in here tonight. What's up, Eastside? How you doing, Eastside?
I think it was injury.
You know what? You're in a situation, so that way the focus isn't on your trash ass team. Philadelphia is something wrong. Muke is more like puke. That's somebody that's always got some negative stuff to
I want
say.
to ask this question because this was the question all damn off season last year. They kept talking about, do you think Dak should get paid? Who's better, Dak or Wentz? Dak or Wentz? That was on every freaking morning show for like a month. But it's not even a question.
I'm going
right
to tell
now.
you. Here's the other thing that also, when I grew up, it was none of this. You get a participation trophy. I honestly look at kids today and the younger generation that's literally coddled. And I swear that everybody with Carson Wentz, that it's always been the needy kid that needs to be propped up. When his numbers were bad in 2018, they were saying, "Oh, Carson Wentz, his numbers are better than what you got because he doesn't have anybody to throw to." And it was like, wait a minute, weren't you guys just saying that Dak Prescott needs these guys to win? And it's kind of like, wait a minute. And so now you're making up for his shortcomings. Oh, well, he doesn't have a line, that's why he's fumbling so much. No, they would never put him out there on blast and say, what it really was. Oh, he's unique. He might have a few bad passes, but when it counts, no, he doesn't. I've been saying for years he's not as good.
I sat and watched Jalen Hurts beat the Saints.
Yeah.
I sat and watched him. He beat somebody else before they played us, and did he beat him? No, it was a close game with Arizona, but he had a really good game. And then I watched him get pulled in the last week because Philadelphia was tanking.
Yeah. Well, basically, Well, I've got a video that I didn't post it, I don't think yet, but this is what Philly 500 said about Howie.
I fire Howie. Fucking fire him. Stupid motherfucker! What an idiot! What an idiot! Dallas has Amari Cooper and Gallup, but we don't need a receiver. Are you kidding me? I don't want Justin Jefferson. He's ass. He's stupid. I fire his ass. I fire his ass.
I mean,
how
he
he's
never
gotta be
gets old.
stupid. What are you doing? You just let Dallas take him.
I had so much fun talking with him. You know, he's just like, Roscoe, what?
It was that fresh off the press. That was all fresh off the press today.
No. I don't think
It just seems like
I got him a half hour
it's still
before.
brand new. That clip is brand new.
But
still.
it still fits.
It does.
It still fits. It's crazy how bad they are right now. And see, I equate it to him wanting Joe Boo's head. From the time he said that I want Joe Boo's head, everything has gone downhill for him and the Eagles. And I told him, I said, man, you don't want that kind of juice. You don't want that kind of venom from my man Joe Boo. I don't play with Joe Boo like that. You know, it's funny now. Eagles media and fans are saying they've been wanting Wentz gone after saying a year that he's the best quarterback. Oh yeah, it's true that they were last year. Oh, well, he packaged, he put everybody on their back and everything else. He was throwing the lawn furniture and stuff. And the thing is, it's kind of funny when you think about Amari Cooper coming from the Raiders to the Cowboys. His numbers blew up. Mm-hmm. They blew up from where they were. With Derek Carr, he couldn't do anything. Now, everybody said, oh, he had a great receiver. It's like, but he wasn't doing great things with the Raiders. He is now. Is it because he's a great receiver, or is it because he's got a combination with the quarterback can throw to him? So the thing I wonder, because you look at a guy like Alshon Jeffries. Alshon Jeffries is balling with the Raiders this year. The Eagles are like, this guy sucks, get rid of him. So was it Alshon Jeffries, or was it actually Carson Wentz?
Was it Alshon Jeffrey, or was it Nelson Aguilar?
I'm sorry, Nelson Aguilar. Was it? No, wait a minute.
Because Alshon Jeffrey, I thought, came back from.
No, I'm sorry. Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Got one trash-ass Eagles receiver mixed up with the other. But he was balling with the Raiders. So you have to look at that and say, was it Carson Wentz in the offense, or was it?
Oh, they was definitely Carson Wentz in the offense.
Right.
Philadelphia.
So we're always told that a franchise quarterback elevates guys. And so you can look and say, okay, well, maybe Josh Allen is that franchise guy because, Diggs had the best season of his career as opposed to Kirk Cousins throwing to him, to Josh Allen is throwing to him. They both played outstanding.
We ever think that maybe Diggs is just that good?
Yeah, that he made Kirk Cousins look good.
He made Case Keenum look good, too.
Yeah, and that's the difference. And that's where you go back to a guy like Carson Palmer. Think about this. Carson Palmer threw to, like I said, Ocho Cinco and Houston Zada and Larry Fitzgerald.
He also had Jermaine
Larry
Gresham
Fitzgerald in his younger days.
Wow.
Think about that.
He also had Jermaine Gresham as a tight end, who was one of the top tight ends at the time, remember?
Yeah. So for that guy to go ahead and, well, I guess Law.
Are we waiting for him to do this quick mock real fast?
We were, but he said give himself a minute, but that was like 20 minutes ago.
My man had to. He probably got to redo his room over there.
Well, he probably had to put that rack up in there.
I seen the rack. He got the shot rack in the
He got
back.
the rack, yeah. And somebody else was like, man, I want to get the rack like you got. And I was like, it's not listed on the site. He's like, well, I want one. So I've actually got it. Oh, sorry. It's past my bedtime. I'm old now.
By the way, man, I love that. I love the rack I got. I love that rack.
Remind me, I need to get you the hooks for the keys so that way you can hang keys on it too.
Gotcha.
They finally came in as well. So it is 10:20. Well, I'll tell you what, you got 6 minutes? Yeah. 6 minutes? 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on?
Yeah, we do.
All right, so we'll go till 10:30 unless Law Nation comes on. We'll give them a few minutes. And I know Miss Jackie, are you heading out, Mr. Oh, see, look at it. You're like, oh no, you're not leaving without me yet. Okay, let's get Law up in the house here. Let's see. There, look, look, we were just speaking of the devil. Look at the rack back there.
Yeah, looking fresh.
Look, and he's got the Cowboys helmet that's floating and spinning around. Look at that. Now that I love the lights. Oh, look.
Let's get a virtual shot, man.
Virtual
now. Virtual
shot.
Okay. Hey, look.
Make sure they can hear them.
Look.
That man got the Henny.
He loves some Hennessy.
We got a little bit of rum here. Okay.
Kids are asleep right now.
I would give you one. Hey, I give you a shot, but you know what? You ain't leaving my house drinking alcohol after Andy Reid's son got drunk driving and all that. Ain't nobody drinking and leaving my house and stuff.
Yeah,
so here we go
to
my man Law Nation. What's up?
What's up?
You take a shot of water there.
I saw you were bringing that heat on Carson Palmer.
Man, ain't there something? Everybody got their hands in Dak Prescott pocket.
Especially
Carson Palmer,
that guy.
$175
million he made.
Yeah.
So do you think we're going to get Dak Prescott signed? Oh, Lord. I don't like that.
It's going to be deadline make deal type of situation. When there's a dry spirit or a dry spell through the NFL, you will hear the Dallas Cowboys groundbreaking interview session with Dak Prescott.
Okay, I hope you're right on that one because, man,
me too.
It's killing me on this one. Now, for everybody that's in here, we have now busted a myth because we have Cowboys DMV up in here, and we also have Law Nation because they swear that it's the same guy. Okay.
Oh wow!
So
he's James Harden too, huh?
That's right. So we got it all straight. This is all we need to do is get James Harden in here, and then we bust all of the myths and stuff. All right. So Law, you think we'll eventually get Dak Prescott signed? Sports Track is basically saying that they project the cap to be about 185. Which means we got $27 million. Cowboy fans say it'll hamstring us if we pay Dak Prescott, and we should go cheap on him and, just roll the dice and just grab one of these other quarterbacks. Your thoughts?
Oh, my goodness. They've been saying that even when it was $22 million. You remember when the market value was 22, and then they said, okay, it's going to sink the team, and it was 28, then they said it's going to sink the team, then it was 30, now it's 35, now it's 40. Look, Cowboys need to go ahead and sign Dak Prescott. They should go ahead. It's not going to mess up the salary cap. That's just a myth. That's just I guess an illusion that the salary cap is a such thing as salary cap hell.
I got a question for you. I've got this guy who comes in by the name of Law Nation's Fan. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. He has a tendency to post the same thing 50 times in a row.
Okay.
Is he cool people?
I don't know. He's a good guy. He's always on my page. I appreciate him for being there and supporting the page or what have you. So shout out to him.
Okay, all right. So he's spammed already 5 times. Ask Law about me. Ask Law about me.
They just timed him out for 5
Look,
minutes.
he just got timed out. People are like, be cool, man. It's like slow your roll a little bit. So, but he's we all we've got special people and things. Here. Of course, I got all the ladies up in here. What's up, ladies? Any thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys? I've been having this discussion with my man DMV, and so you're old school like me, i.e., you're old. He keeps talking about Kyle Pitts. And I keep saying, I understand that you look at all these teams with great tight ends that are in the Super Bowl. I get it, from your Gronks, from your Travis Kelce, from Zach Ertz and stuff a few years ago. I get that. But the other thing I look at is, of the top 10 defenses of last year, 9 of them are in the playoffs, and 2 of them are in the Super Bowl. I keep saying, man, we got to get this defense right before I worry about another weapon on the offense. Am I right, or is he right?
I mean, you're right, but we can't window dress the board. I'm with the philosophy of BPA, best player available.
All
I can think of is everybody's like Patrick Surtain. All I seen when I turned on the tape, I saw Kyle Pitts put up 127 yards, out of 7 receptions and 1 touchdown, and majority of those yards came on Patrick Surtain's side. So if you go with the cornerback, that will be good, but trust your board. And if Kyle Pitts is the highest player on your board at that point, you go with Kyle Pitts.
All right. So what's your idea on fixing this defense? Because that's what we got to do. How many of these 9 free agents on defense are you bringing back?
You've been banging the table, man, for at least 4 years. I know for sure.
Oh, for as long as you know me.
We need some meat inside. We need some help. We need some dogs.
See, look, he's speaking my language. Look, I think I'll pour another drink to that one.
Oh, we'll pour another drink.
I need some beef on that defensive line.
Definitely.
Man.
You gonna leave me hanging?
Well, Law's like, oh, you ain't pouring? Oh, okay. Look, okay, all right, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna
half a shot. You know,
we talking about defensive line. The hell with it.
Yeah, I got a question for Law after y'all take this shot,
We're
man.
gonna get this to the rim.
Make the beard hair grow, by the way.
Yeah, the beard coming in nicely, man. You know what kind of you guys share what type of oils you eat or natural juices and berries over there.
Juices and berries. The Law butter coming soon.
Look, Law Nation fan 2's back.
Hey, bro,
Law Nation's got like 4 different ones.
Hey, so Law, I got a question for you, man. In your opinion, is there anybody defensively that if we can't find a trade partner back to 10, is there anybody that you see that we draft at 10 that makes that big impact?
On the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I like the Caleb Farley kid, but I like the J.C. Horn kid. I think that he will be more ready as it relates to like week 1, week 2, week 3. From a defensive back category. Now, as far as from a interior defensive lineman, everybody know I love Jay Tufile. I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah, I like him too.
And as well as Christian Barmore. But Christian Barmore is more of a 3-tech than that big nasty plug that Mark Holmes been banging on the table.
We might have that plug on the roster already though, because Gallimore really didn't have an off season and he kind of did some work. So I mean, we might need to pair him with a 3-tech.
Yeah, Gallimore, I love his burst and get off, and we do know that he was more of a two gap guy, but I think that his get off is so nasty with it that he can transition back to just shooting the gap, just shoot upfield.
Well, see, I look at him and I think of Tristan Hill as 2 good pieces. I still think you need one real big guy to be that leader up in there and get that rotation because, if we can keep those guys, I'm telling you, too many times we've seen guys like Mitch Trubisky look like a great quarterback because it's like the parting of the Red Sea. You get Tyrone Crawford, getting blown to the left or blown to the right, and all of a sudden the quarterback's got a clear vision of the field. And they can either step up and say, okay, I got an easy pass one-on-one with the cornerback, or I can just take off. But you get that guy, that big, mean, nasty son of a bitch that's in there, that's literally pissing blood and everything else. He's like drooling. And that quarterback is thinking, that's my ass if I hold on to this ball. I got to get rid of this thing. He's not going to be comfortable. And that's going to make your defensive ends that much more effective because now he can't step up. And now he's going to be like, I got to get rid of this thing. He's going to throw a lot quicker. He's going to be throwing off balance because you got people hanging on him. And that's where you get those takeaways. And just like I was pointing out to you, my man, 2014, we didn't have a great defense, but they took away the football and gave more opportunities for the offense.
Who was on our defensive line that year?
Nobody. We had lost DeMarcus Ware. Here's what's crazy. Right? Going into that year, we let go of DeMarcus Ware and Jason Hatcher. Jason Hatcher had 11 sacks that year. DeMarcus Ware only had 6. DeMarcus Ware was injured. But the thing about DeMarcus Ware was, if you look at his numbers, he usually gets most of his sacks would be September and October. By December, he's kind of tailed off.
Absolutely.
And that's what usually happened to us because everybody would say, oh, Tony Romo sucks in December. Our defense usually by December was usually really bad too. So it's kind of like where people don't seem to look at the whole picture. And I was telling my man over here, they say that, well, Dak Prescott sucks. He was 1-3. Actually, it was really 2-5. I mean, it should be 2-3 because of the Giant game. So do you turn around and look at somebody like Alex Smith and say Alex Smith is a good quarterback because he led his team to the playoffs? Because by their definition, it's only the quarterback. So we got to look and say, okay, Alex Smith's a good quarterback. We should go get that guy, right?
I mean, people don't know what they want, and then when they look at it from this year, remember it was a gang of Andy Dalton people. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Where are they now?
Oh my God.
Colin Cowherd was literally. There's not much of a drop off between Dak. They're the same guy. Look at their first 4 years. I was like, oh God. And people buy into that stuff, man. They truly believe. Well, Colin Cowherd. I was like, oh, okay, all right. Can we just stop right there?
It's crazy, man. And if we want to get that big meat, man, there's a kid from LSU. Yeah, I know that DMV know him, right? Tyler Shelvin. You like him?
Oh yeah, I've heard about Shelvin. I haven't gotten to him on tape yet. But I heard about him.
Okay. Then there's also, if you're looking for just size wise, there's a Tadaro Slayton. That's a big boy from Florida, 6'5", 358. And I ain't talking about sloppy fat. I'm talking about these guys.
But see, it's not it's not about just being big though. You need to be able to have that first step that's real quick, and because you really need a guy who can penetrate and can shed those blocks. But a lost technique is basically when you take on that double team is learning how to drop that anchor so you can get down low. The thing with the Cowboys to me has been their philosophy. Instead of saying, I want big guys that can move, they always look for length. And we were talking about, well, David Urban, because I said, think about when was the last great defensive tackle we had? I said the best one, well, I'm going to say the best one we've had in the 2000s would be Jay Ratcliffe.
Was Leroy Glover in the 2000s?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he was in there.
But see, he wasn't still that real big defensive tackle, though.
Right.
Glover,
I mean, you're right.
Jay
Ratcliffe, he played. He was small, but he played he played like a wild man
when he wanted to.
He got there.
Yeah, but we haven't really. David Urban for a while played really good at defensive tackle, but again, he's really a tall guy. He's not that beef in the middle. Alan Williams, thank you. You can't hear the music.
I was gonna say, even Jay was small. Jay was really small.
He was, but see, again, he wasn't that tall guy. He was a little bit stockier. See, they're built like a fire hydrant. The Cowboys like guys that are tall and lean, and that was Rod Marnelli. And that's one of the reasons why they didn't go for T.J. Watt, because they said he doesn't really fit that same profile and stuff. He's too short.
They got to stop with that whole time.
And that's thank you. That's the problem. And the thing is you always look at us getting either defensive ends or guys that are more like a tweener between a tackle and a defensive end, instead of getting a true tackle. And it's the same thing with safety. Law, you realize that since 2000 we drafted Roy Williams, number one, and the other three safeties we drafted were all 6th-round picks. That's it. Yeah. That's all we have done over 20 years at safety.
Yeah.
And I want to say Neville Gallimore is probably, him and Malik Collins are probably the highest two defensive linemen that we've drafted, straight defensive linemen, not defensive ends, at 3.
At 3, yeah,
they don't believe in that. And see,
it's an area of no investments, and we see it. And normally, like you're saying, Mark, in DMV, we may not see it in the first quarter, second quarter, but in the latter parts of the quarter, that's when you see where your inefficiencies really shows up.
And see, for me, here's my thing. As we look at right now, quarterbacks is a need. We might have 5 quarterbacks drafted in the first top 10. That's conceivable.
It's wild to think about, but it's true.
It's crazy, but we know that at least 3 of them will be bust. But it's such a premium on those guys. You know that left tackles are going to go. You know that edge rushers are going to go. If you're looking and saying the best defensive lineman, you're looking at taking the best defensive lineman at that point. You're looking at, and as you put about Kyle Pitts, you're talking about, tight end. There's certain positions that people don't value that high that are lacking of the Cowboys. So you look at it and say, do I get the third best offensive tackle, or the third best edge rusher, or do I'll get
the best tight end,
or do I get the best tight end or the best defensive tackle? Because you could look at it and say, when the Cowboys got Travis Frederick, you got the best center out
Absolutely,
there. Okay,
yes.
But you took him in the first round. Everybody said,
it was a reach.
Right. Everybody said, "Oh, are you kidding me? You're drafting a center in the first round? Are you stupid? You could have got him in the second round." But you got the best center that, when he was healthy, was the best center in football. Didn't matter if you got him in the first or second round, but you got the best one at that position, at the position we drafted, which was in the middle teens. And so
I see what you're saying. It's just going, but that's a whole different philosophy.
Right. It truly is. But see, you look at, we kind of reached with Tristan. I mean, Tristan Hill may end up being really good, but remember the safeties that were after him, Warren Thorne. I mean, the guys. There were three great safeties that are. I believe one of them is in the Super Bowl. On Sunday, that were after Tristan Hill.
I like Antoine Winfield.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That were sitting there in the next couple of picks from where we picked Tristan Hill. But the Cowboys, they don't value safety. But you can look at the team. When the Dallas Cowboys were winning Super Bowls and world champions, we had great defensive linemen and we had great safeties. And also to appease you, we also had great tight ends, okay?
We did.
I know you want the Kyle Pitts.
But when we start to mention, the 90s Cowboys, Russell Maryland name is always left off of that list.
I didn't.
So, yeah. Well, I know you not. But
Leon, and Tony Casillas too. We had a great rotation. We had great defensive ends, but we had defensive tackles that we could just throw wave after wave after wave and shut down that run and get after that quarterback's ass.
Yeah. And that's why I like, even if Christian Barmore is gone, and even though you look at his tape from Alabama, you don't see this guy playing on every down, and he's better against the pass versus the run.
Yeah,
I think that with his size, at being 6'5", 310, north of that, and you mix that in with Galmore, you mix that in with a Tristan Hill if he can stay healthy,
right.
Then you got you guys that can really create pressure up the middle, and if you don't have a Christian Barmore, I'm very high on Davion Nixon, the kid from I want to say Iowa. He's athletic. He's freakishly gifted with his burst and get off. He's a little raw because he played at JUCO, but I'm thinking that he's hungry enough that he can really make an impact to this team.
Well, I got to tell you, to me, this year more than any other year, it's going to be a crapshoot in the draft. One, you're not going to have your workout warriors that are going to be moving up and down the board. And second, you've got half of the college football players that didn't play in 2020. So you're kind of, you're banking on film that was a year ago. You don't know how much working out these guys have done in the short time. Now, maybe it ends up being that they're not just finished playing a college season. They've had a year of rest. They come out here and can play really, really well. But to me, I think we're going to see more busts than ever and guys that we're going to say, where'd this guy come from?
Yeah, call me crazy, but I'm big right now on the guys that played last year, and I'm really huge on the Senior Bowl guys because I know that they're in football shape. I know that they played football, and really,
good point.
Your lasting tape is your last impression, and they have had the more opportunity than the guys that sat out to have an impression, and you know what they are. At least,
At least, yeah.
But I got a question for you, Law. How do you feel about McNeil from NC State? I had an opportunity to look at him today. It was the first time I looked at him, and he looks more like a 3-tech. But do you see him possibly fitting in with us?
Most of these guys are in the range of a 3-tech. He's a guy, but they can line him up at 0. Even fronts, he's better for an even front, believe it or not, than there is a 3-4 or an odd front. I like his get off. I think that he can make some things happen out there on the field. If the Cowboys do decide to go that way, I look at it like, man, I look at it like a collective. Instead of having someone who's getting majority of the snaps as his name of Antoine Woods, if you can get Antoine Woods down to 10 to 15 snaps, and you throw in a lean McNeil who can gobble up and destroy one-on-ones, and take advantages of one-on-ones, I think that would benefit for those guys on the outside. And he did that while he was in college. Yeah. Although college is different from the pros.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
Yeah, it's different from the pros. But at least he had earned a grind mentality to say, okay, if it's one-on-one, I'm at least going to destroy my opponent. I'm at least push him back. make it hell for the quarterback to step up through his pockets. So yeah, I like Aleem McNeil.
Okay.
All right, that sounds like a winner there.
Yeah.
So, do you think we're going to get this thing turned around?
Oh my goodness.
Do
I
you think-
never got your thoughts on Dan Quinn. Before I give you my thoughts on if we think we get this thing turned around. What's your thoughts on Daniel?
You know, there's some guys that are great coordinators that are terrible head coaches.
Right.
And it's funny to me when I hear people say, oh my God, Dan Quinn, did you see what happened to him in the Super Bowl? Man, they gave up the biggest, come from behind victory in the history of football. And I say, stop right there.
Mm-hmm.
He coached the team to the Super Bowl.
Right.
He took Atlanta Falcons, a team that's not exactly a football power, and he at least got them to the Super Bowl. But I look at his record as far as running the defense with the Seattle Seahawks and being part of the Legion of Boom. And I don't think it was just him. I think that everybody had a part of it. That the thing with football is it's kind of like getting lightning in a bottle. You got to get the right players. You got to have a bit of luck. You got to have the schedule come through, and you have to be able to get the right pieces to work with the system. And that doesn't always happen. And some guys are better at being that hands-on coach, working with the players, than it is being that head coach where I'm delegating.
Right.
So I believe that he's had more hands-on experience. He's got a philosophy where he likes big guys, okay, and he likes a ball hawking safety. And when you look at the Cowboys of the last 25 years, some of the things that have always been missing is that defensive tackles and that ball hawking safety. So for me, from that standpoint, I'm already, in with that as an improvement. But you still have to get the players that are going to fit that system. And I don't think we have a lot of those players on here. To me, the defensive line needs more help. And we've relied on guys and figured they're good enough. Guys like Tyrone Crawford. I got hell 2 years ago when I said that, the Cowboys should look at replacing Tyrone Crawford. And Miss Jackie, and I know you're here, Miss Jackie, you were one of the ones that like, how dare you, Tyrone Crawford? He's a team leader and everything else. And people would say he does the dirty work. But the reality is you say he's a tackle and a defensive end. Listen, I don't need a tweener. Yeah. He was too light in the ass to be a defensive tackle, and that's why his body broke down. And he wasn't elite enough to be a true defensive end. I understand. Everybody gets personal attachments with people and stuff. But I need to put some beef on the line that can do a job. You can't say, well, I got great defensive ends and think it's going to work on the defense. Because they're going to pick you apart at your weakness. If you got one cornerback that's really crappy, and even though you got Dion over here, we're going to pick on this guy. And we're going to get you. If you can't hold up in the middle, we're just going to run on you. So at least we have somebody who at least recognizes the problem and his solution fits what his philosophy is.
Yeah, and the thing is with Crawford, everybody knows what a chauffeur is, right? Somebody that watches and look over the younger,
man.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just like, damn, chauffeur.
Yeah, this is what happened, and I can contest to this, and I hope that this doesn't spread too far. But Tyrone Crawford, he was the guy that really reeled in Ezekiel Elliott, regardless of how people look at it. People close to this area will know that it was Tyrone Crawford that said, hey, buddy, hey, put that one down, And Ezekiel Elliott was a wild cannon, and we've been to multiple functions where he get a little good on that oil there, and there was Tyrone Crawford, the only one that could really grab him. That's what happened to him in Florida.
Well, can I make him a player's coach or something? Can you give me a discount or something on that? Because, we're sitting here saying, well, we can't pay Dak Prescott because, we need the money. But we spent $20 million on Tyrone Crawford for the last 2 years.
2 years, man. Oh, my goodness. 2 years. Oh, and then he had, 2 hips or bad hips.
And had surgery. And that was one of the things people say, well, should we bring Tyrone Crawford back again? I'm like, is that a question?
Tyrone know where those bodies are buried. You know, he got too much on the Cowboys.
Well, you know what? Please dig him up. Dig him up. I'd rather let's just blow it all. Let's get it all out in the open, so that way we don't have to do this stuff anymore. Because this stuff doesn't make sense. We hold on to people for too long. You know, most teams look at it and say, you know what? You got to move on and get the next generation in there. You know, how many people retire from New England and get that gold watch?
Oh my goodness!
Dang, not even Tom Brady.
Right. You know, they will trade a pro. They would trade a Pro Bowler in a minute, right? Because I'm gonna get some value. We wait till they broke down and don't nobody want it.
Yeah.
So it's a sea change, and you know, another interesting point that people were saying that, you know, people keep saying that we're not gonna win anything until Jerry's gone. But then you start looking at it and thinking, is Stephen Jones going to be better?
Oh,
because see, Stephen Jones seems like he's evolving and turning into more of Jerry Jones. It used to be when Stephen Jones says something, you could really pay attention to it because he would be on the straight and narrow about what's going on. But now it seems like he's trying to baffle you with bullshit now too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's his MO. Stephen Jones, he's not going to change his mind. He's an ultra conservative guy. We remember stories that he didn't want Deion Sanders on his team. He was like, no, and they got almost into fisticuffs. And now, in hindsight, you know, if we look at what we got hit with the salary cap, he was probably right, but I don't think that we would win another Super Bowl without primetime. And I'm not even the biggest fan of primetime, by the way, even though he's coaching my alum, Jackson State. But there goes to show you that sometimes, you know, you got to will and deal a little bit. And the Cowboys for the last 10 to maybe 12 years were too scared to even will and deal. They look for the TJ Maxx and the Burlington Coat Factory players.
Well, see, to me, I look at it this way. Next year, we've got, for the most part, a pretty good schedule. That third place schedule. We play the NFC South. We know New Orleans is going to have to gut their team. They're 92 or 102 million, whichever site you look at, over the cap. Drew Brees is retired. They're looking at maybe Jameis Winston or Tyson Hill. I don't see them being the same team next year. Tampa Bay, of course, they're in the Super Bowl. That's going to be a hard one. Carolina is not that great. And who did I miss for the South?
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Atlanta, you know, they're starting all over. You know, our division, of course, is our division. It'll scare me if Washington gets a quarterback, but we know the Giants are bringing back Jason Garrett on the 31st worst deep offense in the NFL. Jason Garrett's coming back. You know, if we get Dak Prescott, I think we got a good chance of taking care of our division. And then we play the West. Well, the Raiders are some bullshit, okay? I don't care. John Gruden, it gets all that praise, but he still ain't busted a grape out there. Kansas City, of course, will be the Super Bowl champions. That'll be a tough out. You've got Denver that's still looking for a freaking quarterback, and you got the Chargers. Other than that, we'll probably play the 49ers and the Lions. That's a pretty cake schedule. You got Tampa Bay, Kansas City, and who am I missing? That's another tough out. Those are the two worst games you got on the schedule. Other than that, you're not really playing anybody of any consequence. So you've got an easy schedule. You hopefully sign Dak, or maybe they're too stupid and don't. But you sign Dak and get him back, you know that's a hell of a lot more firepower you got there. If you can do anything better on the defense, you've got actually a decent team. To me, it says next year should be the year that I go ahead and go all in and try and get bright free agents.
You can go ahead and squeeze that.
Because
and if I heard news and rumblings that, you know, Aaron Rodgers is not happy with the Green Bay Smackers. So if he's not happy, and then you look at, okay, because I'm always looking just at the quarterback, right? Who else can be a main threat coming out of the NFC? Okay, maybe Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I seen Russell, as much as people
they don't have that defense.
Brady, he fell and hit his face at the end of the season last year because I had him on my fantasy team. Russell went to bed.
Right, and they fired their offensive coordinator. Okay.
No, that's what it. Okay, they fired him. Okay, so like you said, the competition. If the Cowboys can get their head out of the sand and just go out there and invest in the interior and get a safety in the house, I think that our offense will be just okay. Even if I'm with the belief, if the BPA, the best player available, if Rashawn Slater is there with the 10th pick, I wouldn't get mad. I won't fold up no chair and throw it around or anything. I would say, okay, yeah, we got now a guy that we know for sure that's going to fill in for a good old Tyron Smith, because there's no way he's going to play. And I'm not trying to be negative, Cowboy Nation and Mark. I'm not trying to be negative. But if you had to bet something on it, wouldn't you bet against it that Tyron Smith will make it 17 weeks?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
I
So
agree.
let's invest in that area, and then let's focus on the defense. And I think that if we can improve this team, I'm not going to say we can go on this Golden State type of run when they went on a run, but we can go on this Golden State type of run.
Well, here's the thing for me is if we're going to draft whoever we draft the first round, they need to be a day one starter. And if you're saying we're going to draft a tackle, if you're going to say I'm going to put him at right tackle and he's going to be my swing tackle, I'm going to move Lyle Collins to guard and make Connor Williams the backup, I'm cool with that. But I can't draft a guy and say we're going to sit him on the bench. I need an instant impact day one from whatever player we pick.
Kyle Pitts,
Thank
baby.
you. Kyle Pitts, baby. Okay. The Cowboys select Kyle Pitts at number 10.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see if he's there. There may be some other teams that are thinking that same thing, with what's going on.
He might not make it to 10 the whole time.
Yeah, what I mean? Well, you got so many. You got the Waddle kid, you got Jamar Chase, and I know that's offense, and that's the last thing we need to take a look at. But you got so many guys, on the offensive side of the ball that you can just really say, man, the offense is already potent, but if you go on BPA philosophy,
I mean, it ain't stopping the Super Bowl champ. Whoever the Super Bowl champ is, man, both of these teams ain't got enough weapons. In the running back room and in the receiver room and in the tight end room or whatever. They don't stop getting weapons, either one of them teams.
Watch this weekend. Watch this weekend. Everybody, mama, uncle, cousin was saying that, hey, this and that. But there's no way you can stop a Tyreek Hill. That dude right there.
Oh yeah, that's someone. Yeah,
they had Tyreek Hill. Then they went and got a Nico. Was it Miko or Nico Hardman? Oh my God, that dude quick. Look, he fumbled the ball. He made a mistake. Everybody corralled him and rallied around him and said, "Okay."
He made two big plays after that. 2 big plays right after that fumble.
Yeah, and then last year they went and got one of the best running backs.
I know. Yeah.
Out of the draft. So that team is continuing. They're going against the status quo. And guess what they did too, DMV?
Le'Veon Bell.
There you go.
Yeah.
And they said we're not going to play around with our food. I got a little kid, try to make her eat and she playing around with the food. No, they ain't playing around with it. No. They went out there and said, you know what? We're going to go free agency. We're going to bring in some more people and more people. Oh, y'all don't like tacos? We love tacos. We can make them a rotation.
Right.
They went and got tacos,
All these ex-Cowboys over there about to get
they seem to
man.
love all the ex-Cowboys on there. All right, so it's getting past my bedtime. Law Nation, everybody, you have had actually a treat here. We've had the two... what do you call them? Doppelgangers of James Harden on here together at the same time. Law Nation, tell everybody where to find you, man, which is everywhere.
Man, Law Nation, that will be at YouTube, Facebook, as well as Twitch and Twitter, Amazon and Roku, LAW Nation. You can find my face, name, and logo there. I really appreciate you for providing me this opportunity to jump on your beautiful show. And also, you guys see behind me, y'all see that that plaque that holds all of these good old shots, man. Y'all can get that over there on Mark Holmes' page. I get so many people asking me, Lord, man, where you get that beautiful canvas of a football with white on one side and blue on the other?
Two-face, yeah.
And I said, say, man, y'all got to reach out to Joe Boo Sports Report. You got a multi-million-dollar hands, man.
Yeah, you do.
Shit. Okay.
All it takes, man, is Jerry Wayne. Look, I'm going to get a couple of them, and I'm just going to present them to Jerry Wayne and say, hey, man, you can have this all throughout the Star in Frisco. And have them look, we undefeated when it's hanging on your wall.
Oh, yeah, there you go. And Jerry will be like, hey, we can get these made in China real cheap here. Jobu who? I don't know no Jobu. I can see it right here. I love
Oh my
him.
God!
There you go.
He's snake oil salesman. I forgot all about that. So I
Next
won't
thing
even
I
mention
find
it
out
to
they're
him.
patented, I'll get a cease and desist order. You can no longer make it. No, I
That's
appreciate
right.
you, man. And here's the thing, because Law Nation's biggest fan, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, is he's like, well, which one? Who's better? It's like, man, it ain't about being better. It's all about us coming together. Everybody's got a little bit of different take and things like that. But here's the thing that we all agree on. We want the Dallas Cowboys to be playing on Super Bowl Sunday.
Please.
And we're trying to figure it out, how we can go ahead and get this stuff together. So, if you don't like me, which is cool, it's cool. I guarantee you that between Law, between Vosh, between DMV, between E2 Blue, my Cowboys family, Cowboys legend, there's literally probably at least 100. There's got to be at least 100 Dallas Cowboys YouTuber. There's somebody out there that is your cup of tea, and they're putting in the work to bring you the best content. So go out there and support them, man. Give them the like, the thumbs up, man, the super chat and all that. Whatever it takes, just do something. Support all these great people that are out here for you. So Law, I appreciate the support, man, and I'm glad the shot glasses are getting plenty of work up there. So they're not catching they're not getting no dust up on that rack, are they?
No. It makes my beard hair grow. And let me just say this, Mark.
Yes, sir.
Everybody that does this social media, whether it be the guy that got the multiple personalities, I forgot his name, but he does it. His name is the tip of my tongue. He be talking to himself.
He
I forgot
crazy?
his name. You know the guy, the light-skinned brother, he wear all of the jerseys. I think his name is Scooter or something.
Scooter McGruder.
Yeah. Scooter from
man.
Country Wayne to all
I
of
thought
us.
you were talking about a crazy motherfucker.
Yeah. But he do got multiple personalities because he talks to himself. He got, I like
Scooter,
great concept, man. But my thing is, we all love the Cowboys. We don't like them. We love them. And on top of that, nobody's bigger than the star. And we all would like to get together, have a big party, shindig. It's not about who's better and who's not better, like you said. And I look up to everybody, man. I really appreciate you again, Mark Holmes and DMV, for inviting me on the show.
Well, I tell you what, I'm hoping we get past this COVID thing, man, because I enjoyed when you were over here at the house and stuff, man. I would love to have a YouTube get-together watch party, or better yet, going to the game against that Washington football team, and going in there Cowboys strong. So everybody, if you haven't already, unless you've been hiding underneath a rock, okay, you already subscribed to my man Law Nation. Make sure you go through and sub up to him as well. And DMV, hold it. Run DMV. Tell everybody where to find and who you're working on this week on the Draft Mock Draft.
So look, we have DMV Cowboys Fanatic this week. I went offense, so I went Penei Sewell. I just did a video, doing Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith, so you guys go check that out. And I might go do McNeil because I like what I saw. And normally when I get passionate, you kind of stay up late night and you kind of do a breakdown. So I like what I saw from McNeil, so he might be my next one.
All right, I heard that. Okay, so with that being said, you know what? I know what y'all been waiting for. Because in our tap, we're about to get ready to get up out of here. But I know y'all been waiting to see Gina's racks. Law's like, what? Yeah, Gina, you know what? Kiddies, go to bed. Because we're going to go ahead and pull out the Jobu Sports Report thank you video for all you great fans. And Gina, I appreciate you showing us your racks. All right, y'all got your drink ready? Because your brother need to have a drink right now. Let's go for it. Did you see him? Did you see Gina's rack? I couldn't leave it on for long. Good show, Law.
Appreciate you, man.
Got a lot of fans, shot glasses.
It always has been, thank God. You now, I appreciate you guys being here. This is actually the end of my show. So I'm actually playing all my fans who have ordered like shot glasses or become channel members, when they got the shot glass like this, I've got a video that plays all of them in here. So it's like a thank you to everybody. So if you haven't checked out my channel, Joe Louis Sports Report, check it out. And we'll be here on Monday night. We'll be talking about the Super Bowl as well as the madness that is the Dallas Cowboys. So I appreciate all of you guys, and I will see you Monday. You now. Nintendo. Alan says, I'm going to show you my racks, too. No, Alan. No. No. Your man, Law Nation fan, said, make sure I tell you goodnight. Tell him I said goodbye. Make sure I tell him that, hey, you guys need to work together. It's like, we are right now. Okay, we're working together right now. Do you not see it? Look, there he goes again. Mark Law said goodbye again. He'll say the same thing like 10 times. My mom's like, okay, we got the first 10. Okay, after that, we're going to put you in timeout. See you, Lola. All right, here we go.
You take a picture of myself with that rack.
I think I can screenshot one of your And with that being said, you guys caught me trying to take a picture of Law Nation holding this rack, or having that rack back there. But I appreciate all you for showing up. Make sure you sub up my man Law Nation, DMV, and keep spreading the mojo. And it's time to turn out the lights because, well, I'm getting tipsy up in here. Mess that up. I didn't play good night, turn out the lights. See, look at that. That's what happens when you have Law come in here and keeps telling me to drink.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to kick it with you again, man.
Oh,
Man, I can't wait to I'm salivating over the wings. I can't wait to have the wings again.
But I'm going on a diet until next season. I'm getting back on keto because my ass is getting fat.